Why do nations go to war? Well, according to the realist approach to international politics, their theory is based off of their assumption, the realist assumption of the the anarchic nature of international relations and politics at a system level. This theory does not discuss what causes an individual war, but what causes wars in general. In short, this view of international politics is that a Cold War leads to war. Or more specifically, oh, betterly stated, just stated in a more eloquent way, anarchy in the natural world leads to Cold War, which leads to a hot war. The event that sparks a war is called the proximate cause, which may or may not be a single cause, but is the cause that can best explain the outbreak of a singular war. There also exists economic theories as to why states go to war at a system level, such as the need to expand markets in capitalism might promote a state to expand its territory, or in communist nations it's to spread the communist revolution to the global scale. Under state and sub-state levels of analysis, there exist multiple ways to explain why nations should go to war. The type of regime, the government of the country. Let me restart that sentence. The type of regime of the government has been theorized to explain why. That sentence makes no sense. Okay, this is what I was going to say with it. The type of regime that the government is, that the state has, is used in theorizing on why states go to war, as alluded to in my democratic peace theory video. The theory goes that democracies do not go to war with other democracies. New democracies are more likely to go to war as they lack the same institutional compromises present in older democracies, and democracies are more likely to go to war with non-democracies. Under the expected utility theory, nations and states will only go to war when there is no other course of action that would yield a greater utility. Does often help to explain why military weak nations begin a war that they are likely to use as long as the long short of winning has a higher utility of backing down and surrendering. What did I just write there? Yeah. The possibility, basically what I was saying is that the possibility of winning is more appealing than the certainty of a loss, or similar thing, if not going to war. According to the power transition theory, an aggressive state, once it has gained enough power and influence, will go to war with the dominant power in hopes of reordering the international structure in their favor. State-level analysis also has its economic theories of war. Economic imperialism is an effort of a state to increase its access to resources and markets through military action, as I talked about earlier. Colonialism often falls under this explanation. Related to this is the concept of the military-industrial complex, which in essence is a self-sustaining machine promoting war to increase profits for the firms involved in the complex. Nationalism is also cited as a reason for states going to war, as nationalism makes it easier to mobilize a population in support of war. Nationalism can exist with a us versus them mentality, with the us viewing themselves as superior to the them, and should rule or exterminate the them in extreme cases, especially the exterminate part. Then there is the Diversionary Theory of War. In this theory, wars are initiated to distract the public from other, often more troubling issues. While this is often applied to autocratic leaders, democracies are not immune to it. The individual level analysis has been used to explain why states go to war as well. Human aggression, or the natural tendency of humans toward aggression, and the natural selection has been used to explain war. Also on the individual level analysis is that of a single leader. According to this interpretation, a single influential leader, not necessarily a madman or a megalomaniac, can lead the country down a path to war. This is often applied to autocratic rulers since they have few individuals to stop them from this making this happen, often stopping them from going to war. Which also makes this line up with the democratic peace theory. Also lining up with that is the individual level analysis. Let me restart that over. Also lining up with individual level of analysis is that individuals may have misperceptions, making the choice to go to war look off in hindsight. Misperceptions can lead to war when rationally is needed to make proper decisions, though may not be foolproof. Not sure what I was actually trying to say there. This was really poorly written. I know I'm talking about this in my video, but go ahead, criticize me. Okay, what I was trying to say there is misperceptions can lead to war when rationality is actually needed in order to make the proper decisions. Don't know what I meant by this may not be foolproof, I don't know. But the misperceptions can explain why sometimes democracies may go to war because they perceive the other country as non-democratic. Of which theory has the most explanatory power, it is hard to say. Unlike the approaches to international politics, there is no easy way for me to figure out which theory is the best overall. However, when the cause for going to war is broken up into two sections, the lead up and the decision, then I can make a judgment. The decision for a state nation to go to war is best explained by the expected utility theory, as it makes sense for a state to only go to war when the outcome will be good for it or the state has nothing to lose, even if the decision maker or makers may not be the soundest or have misperceptions on the situation. Expected utility theory still holds in most situations. The lead-up to war can be best explained through a combination of nationalism and realism, though they do leave notable gaps in explanation, such as an extremely diverse state going to war, and there is proximate cause of note along with no previous tensions between warring parties, no matter how unlikely that may be. While such a scenario may be unlikely, it is not impossible. So thank you for dealing with that poorly written script. I would normally rewrite it, but I'm very busy this semester in school, so I don't have enough time to actually properly rewrite the script to make more sense. So I do apologize for that. But this is, well, you get to just see my thought process work out more than I usually show on this channel. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below. Why do you think nations go to war? And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Have a good one.